Ezekiel 15 talks about God giving Jerusalem, or more precisely, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, over to fire. Even if they escape the fire will consume them. There is no escape. There's no man-made escape plan when it comes to getting away from God's purposes. If you relieve yourself from one trial, He can bring it again from another side. You don't escape God's purposes. If He says the word, if He stretches out His hand, you can't turn it back. Now, a child of God praying can move God's heart, but His purposes are going to be carried out. In the first section of Ezekiel 16, we have the story of Israel. She is rejected and abandoned, an outcast, left for dead, unwanted. God cares for her tenderly and grows her to maturity and takes her for His bride. He clothes her with majesty and raises her up to royalty. It's the story of every believer. We were children of wrath by our very nature. God redeems us and takes us in. He removes our garments of filthy rags and clothes us with salvation, with praise, with the very righteousness of Christ. He makes us royalty. He seats us in the heavenly places, blesses us with every spiritual blessing, calls us to be kings and priests. He weds us to Himself. God is preparing a spotless bride for a great wedding feast, though we can be joined to Him before that day. We become one with Him. When we obey and abide in His love, He abides in us, and Jesus and the Father makes their home with us by the presence of the Spirit. We can live together with God as one. Marriage is the best picture we have of that relationship, though it is even closer and more intimate. We are one with God.